Alright, what is up guys, TSG here, and today, if you haven't seen Zaggy's video, the release date for console for the new map has been announced, and that is August 31st. So you console guys, 2 months later, will finally get the new map. It's a shame that it took them this long, but, you know, at least you're getting it. But I know the hype has died off, but hopefully you guys do enjoy that map. I think it's the best whitetail map for sure. And speaking of whitetails, that is kind of what we are going to get into here. This video is mainly going to be talking about what's the best way to earn cash and the best whitetail hunting spots that I have found with the new map coming out. So let's get into it. So normally what I like to do is, so the whitetail do not drink the same time on this map as they do on Layton. They actually drink 8:30 to 11:30, or some spots are 9 to 11 or some stuff like that. But what I like to do is come over here, and I usually set the time to 9. That way it's a little into the zone time, so that way you're not waiting for animals to show up. They're usually always there already on most of the zones. But some zones, you know, different zones, the animals will show up at different times in that time period. So you just gotta figure out what times your zones are popping. So the few lakes that I like to hunt are this one up here. As you can see, I have a lot of tents and tripods up here. This little one up here is really good. This one over here on the left is probably the most popular whitetail lake on the map, I'd say. This one has some whitetail. This one has a couple. I have one zone. It says bighorn, but that's whitetail over here. There's this lake has whitetail, but it's pretty hard to hunt. It's pretty thick vegetation around it. But this does have whitetails. This little lake has a couple zones on it. Don't really ever hunt it. I usually just use it as a scouting lake. These two lakes I use as scouting lakes. Whereas these 5 up here I actually hunt strategically. But whitetail hunting on this map is really good. It's also good for cash. Whitetail give you a good amount of cash, so and they're pretty plentiful on this map. And if you can get the tripods, and you can just put yourself up on the on a tripod and just lay into them. These deer are just starting to move in onto this zone here, but I like to just put myself up into a tripod, and that way I don't got to worry about hunting pressure. So I can just go ahead and lay into a few of these deer. Oh, that one got away. Maybe we can get this one if he stops. He's not going to. But yeah, you can just lay into them and not cause a lot of hunting pressure. You can usually kill like 5 deer and not worry about deleting a zone or anything. If you do delete a zone, don't worry. Nothing bad really happens. The zone will either move from here, and they'll find a new spot along the same shoreline at a later date, or that herd will move to one of the other zones nearby and populate that zone. So if you have a zone in a bad spot, like I had a zone that was right here and I didn't like where it was at, so I deleted it, and then the deer here have populated this zone and this zone over here. I tried deleting this zone a couple times, but they just keep coming back to that spot. They don't go anywhere else, so I'm stuck with it. But you can use it strategically like that. If you do not like where they are showing up at, you can delete that zone, and hopefully they move to a better zone. Because I did that with, this zone over here. This zone keeps coming back too, but not as often. But I'll delete this one, and it populates this one really well, and so that zone gets really high population of whitetail on it. But for a whitetail, for these small ones, you get 580 cash, which isn't too much. But for golds, you start getting a little bit more and a little bit bigger. The Deer are pretty big on this map from what I've seen. You'll see a lot of good sized twos. You'll probably get like 800 cash per deer, and you know, in one zone cycle, I'd say I'd probably kill at least probably 20 deer every zone cycle, and so that's a lot of cash because there's a lot of zones to find. Um, Around all these lakes. This one's got a bunch. This one has one, but they spread out across that little pond. This one has a bunch. This one has a lot too. This one has a lot, but like I was saying earlier, it's pretty hard to hunt. But yeah, make sure you find all your zones first. It's really important, because that way when you kill stuff, you have a better chance of finding the respawns for it, because they'll be on a zone somewhere, and not just showing up at a random dark zone that you don't have. That way you're like, oh, where are all my spawns? Because, like, I was always hunting these zones, and, like, all of a sudden they'd deplete, and I was like, what the hell? And I walked around this whole lake. I found another zone here, and I found this zone here where I found that melanistic. And if you remember, this zone had, like, 80 deer on it at once, and it was ridiculous. But, yeah, the whitetail deer hunting is really good on this map, and you guys will really enjoy it, I do believe. But also, what I wanted to talk about is good ways to earn cash on this new update. And what I have found, with this new update, they did fix the geese spawns, so the geese hunting is a lot better, and I actually have been enjoying the geese hunting. It's chill. You just sit there. It's nothing crazy, but it's a lot of fun. If you can get yourself to 22, this makes things so much easier. I hunt this cornfield right here the most, as you can see. It's the only purple spot on my map. I haven't really set up any other fields. Maybe in the future I will. But what I do is I set the time to like 8:30. Can use a shotgun for this, but the 22, if you can get your hands on the 22 DLC, it's in weapon pack 2 or 1, I think. 1, 2, or 3. But if you look in those packs, it tells you what's in them. But get the 22 LR. It makes things so much easier. You can call them in. I set up a few decoys. I like using this blind. It gives you the same concealment as the other one, but you're able to just stand here, not lay down on the floor. You have more visibility. Grab your goose collar and start calling away. Usually takes, what I've found is probably like 5 minutes for a flock to usually show up, which isn't bad. It used to take a lot longer, which made goose hunting really boring. But I usually don't even let them come into the ground. I usually just pluck them out of the sky with the 22. And you can eliminate a whole flock pretty quickly. Alright, looks like our first flock is coming on in right there. Didn't take too long, only a couple minutes. Let's check to see if there's anything crazy. There doesn't look there is. Doesn't look to be that there is anything good. What I do is I wait for them to get on overhead, pull up my 22, and start shooting away if I can hit a shot. You see, they just start dropping from the sky. That is what my strategy has been for hunting geese. You get pretty much $1,000 for every goose, and that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's basically almost, depending on how big they are. Golds and stuff, yeah, like this silver gave me 1,000 cash. You're pretty much getting about 8 grand per flock, and if you do this for a little bit, you're just gonna rack up cash. And that's how I've found to be the best way to earn cash quick in this game, is get yourself a 22, set yourself up in a farm field. You don't need the decoys. The decoys just help with them coming into land. They're more likely to land, but I don't ever let them land. I just shoot them out of the sky with the 22. But hopefully this video gives you guys that are getting the updates soon some quick insights and tips on how to hunt whitetail. I haven't really explored that new map for any other animal species yet, mainly because I just wanted to hunt the whitetail because Layton is really hard to hunt whitetails. So that's all I've been hunting. That's all I've really figured out. But hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and hopefully you guys have fun on the new map. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. You know, if you other PC people have any other tips for anyone new, leave them in the comments below. Also, I learned some stuff from you guys every once in a while, so if you have any other insights, let me know. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I just hit 22K. Once again, thank you so much for that. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. 'Cause I was never ready for it.